Here's the thing, the year of 2026 is absolutely going to be life-changing. We know that this year for crypto has been quite depressive. We didn't get the returns we wanted to receive on specifically the price of altcoins. Bitcoin has done well from the bottom of the cycle, but still, in relative to how much Bitcoin has gone up from peak to peak, this cycle has been quite short of anything that we would have wanted us to do. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you why this year has been depressive, and I want to explain to you how 2026 can be a life-changing opportunity with the amount of inflationary policies that are introduced, with the amount of money printing that is going to take place. I think 2026 is going to be a year of liquidity, and then 2027 is going to take advantage of that freshly printed liquidity into the markets. Without continuing though, my name is Crypto Kid, and for the past 48 hours, I've spent my entire time with analysts like Benjamin Cohen, with people like the Coin Bureau, and I've listened to individuals that we all love to listen to, like Raoul Pal. And I want to break down to you the largest and most important piece of news and the most important piece of analysis that I've taken away over the past 2 days here in Dubai. And that is that 2026 is going to be a year of liquidity, and that it's going to unlock so much of capital flow into the markets. We need to prepare right now to be able to take advantage properly. And this is what I mean. We know that Bitcoin has went up this cycle, and we know that some altcoins have gone up in cycle. Mind you, not every altcoin, only some of the large ones like Solana, like BNB, like Ethereum, but the rest of the altcoin market just hasn't been doing well. Yes, we went up a little bit because Bitcoin has went up, but we haven't seen the euphoric phases like what took place in the last cycle and the cycle before. From the lows in the 2017 cycle, we went up by 3,300% for altcoins. In the last cycle, up by 3,900%. In this cycle, it was only 311%. And this is because, well, there's no liquidity. If there's no liquidity, then trophy assets like altcoins are not going to receive investment. We know from the social risk indicator that this is a time where absolutely no one cares about crypto. Nobody cares. Nobody's searching it on YouTube. Nobody's searching it on Twitter. Engagements are down. New subscribers are down. Everybody wants to not be in crypto right now. And the most attractive thing is AI. And the reason why people are not so attracted in altcoins and cryptocurrency links mostly because there is not enough liquidity in the markets. In 2021, there was so much interest. In 2017, there was also a lot of interest, but in both of those times, financial conditions weren't as weak as they were as of right now. The ISM PMI, which measures how well the economy of America is doing, currently is in the contraction phase. And in both 2021 and in 2017, you are in an expanding American economy. So where the 4-year cycles structurally for Bitcoin are going to remain intact, because Bitcoin has the 4-year supply and demand cycles that altcoins don't have. So Bitcoin's still going to go up in the 4-year cycles, top out after 1,064 days, just like how it did in the prior cycles from bottom to top, 1,064 days. Altcoins move differently since they don't have that 4-year cycles and they're dependent much more on liquidity. So Bitcoin, yes, it's gone up. It's also not been euphoric. If there was more liquidity and the economy was doing well, I think Bitcoin's top would have been better and at higher prices. It wouldn't have meant that Bitcoin wouldn't have topped out after 1,064 days. It's just that if the economy was doing better, then I think Bitcoin could have went to higher prices. It hasn't, so that's why it's not going to higher price levels. Altcoins, they don't obey those 4-year cycles. They look strictly at liquidity in the economy. Next year, we're going to get quantitative easing. That's going to be the first measure or the first thing that introduces new liquidity into the market. Quantitative easing is where the Federal Reserve starts buying up a bunch of assets from commercial banks. And they do this not with money that they own, but money that they can print out of thin air electronically. So they print money out of thin air. They put it into the reserves of banks, commercial banks, and simultaneously they cut interest rates. So commercial banks will then have a bunch of reserves to lend out at cheap prices. People don't want to keep money in the bank because of low interest rates and they're not combating inflation. So everybody's forced to invest in markets to beat inflation, and people are incentivized to borrow money from the bank for a very cheap cost. If you were to borrow $1 million, let's say, at 1% interest rates, which they want to bring it down towards, then you're only paying $10,000 per year in interest. And the S&P yields you like 8% per year on average. So that 7% is essentially free money. So everybody starts borrowing capital and pouring it into the risk on markets. That includes Bitcoin, that includes the S&P, that includes real estate, and there's huge amounts of asset inflation. In the last time they did this, prices went up for Bitcoin from like $10,000 all the way to $60,000. Whilst I don't think the same amount of QE is going to happen like the last cycle, I still think it's going to be pretty good. And I think it's going to be enough to boost altcoins going into Q4 of 2026 and into 2027. Why do I think it's going to take that long? Well, when you get quantitative easing or you end quantitative tightening, which ended 1st of December, you don't immediately start pumping to the upside. That's the common misconception. What happens is you end quantitative tightening, quantitative easing gets introduced, and Bitcoin is actually still experiencing a consolidation to the downside. It has a top, right? And we got this top. It starts consolidating to the downside, and only like 6 months after quantitative easing is introduced does risk on assets start reacting positively to it, because the whole process of printing money, transferring it to clientele, and them having to buy assets, it's not an overnight process. It takes half a year to 1 full year. So that will bring us to Q4 of 2026, just before the midterms. They will pump the markets likely to win the midterm elections, and then everything will likely start to head towards the upside, from altcoins to supercars to watches. All the trophy assets will start going up because of excess liquidity in the markets. And for the next 11 months, until we hit Q4 of 2026, I think we will probably do a downwards consolidation. A bottom price target could be the 65 region, but just over the next 11 months, I'm going to be accumulating as much Bitcoin as I can, and also a couple of the altcoins that I truly like. But for altcoins, my most accumulation will come in after summer of 2026. So that's the playbook that I'm going with. That's what I expect will happen to markets. I think, yes, the 4-year cycles are intact, but the business cycles that everybody refers to should only be considered for altcoins and should only be considered for Bitcoin. Yeah, if we're going up in a bull market and the economy is doing well, then Bitcoin's price will likely go higher than what it should go to. And that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm excited about. The Trump accounts, the one big beautiful bill, QE, interest rates getting cut, the politicization of the Federal Reserve, devaluing the dollar, extending monetary debasement. These are all good things for Bitcoin. These are all good things for cryptocurrencies. And we know that the very long term will be great for Bitcoin and crypto anyways. So all we need to do is to be patient. The people that were once interested in crypto, they will come back. And when they come back, they will bring their own liquidity. But what we ideally want is to get new subscribers and to get new people bringing in liquidity. And all of those things I think will happen. It will just be a matter of time. We need to be patient. We need to remain calm, and everything will be okay. So with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to check out any crypto exchanges, links are down below to Weeks and Pinex and Coinflower. Tomorrow, I'm going to be uploading an interview with Benjamin Cohen that I recorded today. So I'm looking forward to it. Subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys.